right, so you guys finished playing Firefly. What's it like to be part of the first inaugural Firefly?
This is the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so well organized.
I hope it stays organized.
Yeah. The whole thing's been amazing, basically.
Yeah.
The lineup's great.
So,
That is.
So our stage lineup is pretty awesome. It's like us, Cold War Kids, Death Cab for Cutie,
Yeah.
Black Keys. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And
good.
yeah, it's weird. Tyler just told me like 15 minutes ago that it's like the first year, and like we've played several festivals where it's like their first or second year, and they're just like
Even the 5th year.
You're like at a church's back.
The
actual Firefly, will they get feedback with this or not?
I don't know. They might, yeah.
Of
Good job.
this?
Good job, Firefly.
Oh, they will. We have to release it all.
Okay.
So
Nice.
talk them
No,
up.
they're seriously.
Say nothing
this is,
bad.
It's been
It's
amazing.
it's not. Yeah. Us personally, we had a bunch of flights in to Philadelphia and then drove here last night, or was supposed to be last night, and for most of the band, their flights got canceled.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like,
Just a bunch
these
of-
guys got in at like 10 this morning after flying all night.
Jeez.
So it was brutal. It's a rough day. We went straight for we hit the vodka Red Bull tent.
Yeah.
Immediately after that.
Fair enough. That happened to Hannah from Group Love yesterday. They said her flight.
Oh.
You guys know them, so yeah.
I love
she
those
was real
guys.
tired.
They're
Yeah.
good. They're good friends.
You toured with
We are
them.
Group Love.
Magic 11 with them.
Talk about what it's like to play with them, because you have.
Well, we did a tour with them in Australia, and it was kind of my favorite trip. I think you mentioned that as well. It's just like felt like a vacation, really.
We were in Australia.
We were in Australia, so that first of all is a very crucial aspect of being a good trip.
Summertime in Australia.
Summertime in Australia, but Group Love, like we were opening for them, and they're so welcoming and just like friends right away. We have a very similar kind of energy. I feel like just personality wise. So yeah, it was.
I feel like
great.
our music is. I feel like our
Yeah,
music is
music's
pretty
way different, but like our idea to like playing of playing a show,
Yeah.
putting on a show.
Putting energy.
Yeah.
And you all kind of have like a group love mentality. You can tell how much you guys love each
Yeah.
other.
Oh,
I mean, you didn't name
You
yourself
have to,
that.
can you acknowledge?
You can tell.
Yeah. Can you acknowledge
It's
that that was kind
familial.
of cheesy?
It's familial. It's
Yeah.
How you
We've
guys?
talked before. We're friends. I can give her
we
that
just-
kind of feedback. It's
She hates you. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
With your live shows, there's been a lot of progression from when you first started to now. Can you talk about that and how you've kind of grown as a live act?
touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more shows you play, I think just the act itself of going on stage and like feeling the little bit of nervousness every night, and kind of like getting to understand yourself in that situation, and trying to build these songs into something that was more than just the record. I feel like we've done done a lot of work on that, just getting it to the point where we want it to be, and now it feels like it's finally kind of approaching a point where it keeps pushing forward. I like that.
Can you talk about?
I don't know that there's like a. I don't know that we like set out to. We set out to like have more energy playing live, but not necessarily. Like we didn't have like a vision like this is where it will go. It's just like every night you like try some sort of way of like conveying like what the energy was in your brain when you wrote that song that didn't come out when you recorded it, and it just like every night there's like little shifts that like if you watch today and tomorrow you won't notice any difference, but like
We all
today
feel it,
versus
kind of, yeah.
today versus like 2 years ago, all of a sudden you've like kind of grown out of what you're doing then, and have can play to like a wider group and still have the people like that are in the back.
It just feels like building kind of like a building kind of. You're always adding, but slowly over 2 years. So you're building like little parts, adding little things here and there, and over time it just kind of creates this thing. That,
I think it's just like it's the types of touring too. It's not just like it's playing outside of your hometown or your home region that really like strengthens you as a performer, a live group, or supporting dates or festival dates. Where it's not just an audience that's coming to see you. Like
it's not your comfort zone.
it's meeting all these different challenges on how you still convey like some kind of genuine performance or some kind of like reality that you want to be presented, with people that are watching, and you want them to be moved, or I want people to be moved when they're watching us. Were you in any bands when you were in France? Because that's a big challenge, I guess, to change how you're going to perform in front of audiences and stuff. I wasn't in bands. I did like singer-songwriter stuff, like performed by myself. And I played with some French musicians, just like they weren't songwriters, but they were like classical guitarists and stuff. And so, you know, but it was a lot more like coffee shop or like bar pub feel. You know, it was never like
less of a focus on like performance,
production, and less of a performance. Yeah, it was more about yeah.
You guys are based out of Seattle, and that's obviously a big music scene there. Can you talk about some of the challenges or expectations trying to come out of that scene and branch out?
It's funny. I feel like when we first started, we didn't really have expectations, because when we started recording this record, we'd been a band for, you know, with this lineup with Chris on bass for a month maybe. So it was going to be demos. We were just going to show our friends and whatever. And you know, I feel like when we started touring, it almost, that's where kind of this folk whatever scene that we kind of sprung out of, where people started gravitating towards the open mic night that we kind of sprang out of. So I feel like I personally missed a lot of that kind of either expectation or the event after what happened to us, kind of, you know. But
yeah, we didn't.
I don't think anybody felt expectation.
There was no
or
expectation
pressure
because
or,
we
like,
were a tiny band that no one knew about.
we were just meeting and playing music because we enjoyed.
Are you guys from Jersey?
Yeah.
Is there a music scene in Jersey?
Sort of.
Like
Yeah, it's more New York you'll go to if you
Yeah,
want to go
yeah.
to the music
Being
scene.
that close.
you guys have like
But there was
Gaslight
a-
Anthem. You have Saves
There
the
was
Day.
like
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
like,
like-
I was gonna
Oh.
say like a decade ago you guys
Yeah,
had
it
a
was
lot
bigger.
of
I think it was
bands,
bigger back then.
Like there's like
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday.
Right.
from
Yeah, all of
Jersey
our
and,
like kid bands.
Yeah, all of the like screamo bands.
Those are there.
I feel like
all the
I feel like-
drive-through bands.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Starting Line. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. We all.
Perfect. You play those on WSOU.
Used to.
Yeah, he used
Yeah.
to. He graduated.
Yeah.
it's cool. I still listen to Taking Back Sunday from time to time. Don't tell
I
anyone.
feel like expectations in Seattle are nothing like expectations would be in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like because you guys are from Jersey and like you would expect like that, like you're kind of like Tacoma is like about this similar distance south of
Right.
Seattle, and there's an art scene, music scene there, and there's a lot of good artists and bands. But I feel like New York just has far more of a like,
Professional
Like
mentality.
people trying to
kind
be
of.
not even
successful.
professional. I mean, there's professionalism on both aspects,
Yeah.
both ends, but a little more like take yourself seriously in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
So there, you feel this like kind of false expectations. Where in Seattle, that's not really there. So you can just kind of like
Gestate
That's
a
kind of
little.
like how this happened. Was
Yeah.
there was no such thing as that, and we were just playing open mics, and we just started to notice that people were like maybe a little more motivated to go to our show than like another show. And we were like, oh, this is working really well. This is a lot of fun, and we just kind of like got a confidence from that, like the lack of like walls, the lack of like pressure, and so we just kind of were able to do whatever the hell we wanted in a way, and feel good about that. And I think that's what gave us the confidence to like leave the pond and tour further.
Yeah. Maybe you have more time in Seattle, more like more time to create what you want to do instead of like having to come out of the gate firing on all cylinders, you know. And I feel like that's what touring has helped us do, is build up to that level of
So that when you go to New York,
yeah, exactly.
you don't give a shit about their expectations.
Yeah, because you've already been through it all. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Talking with the head and the heart here, and you guys have been sprinkling some new material on your tour, of course. Can you talk a little bit about that? When fans might be expecting an album in the future or anything like that?
I think the album will be nothing like the new stuff that you're hearing on the stage.
yeah.
I think it's the stuff you're hearing on stage that's new right now is like stuff that we needed individually in order to keep touring on this album. You know,
Keep
like,
it fresh a little
so
bit.
like it's like maybe a step or two in a direction towards what we're gonna eventually do, but none of that is like actually
final-
worked out,
yeah, final
meditated
version.
thought. It's just kind of like. I feel like most bands just kind of like to get together, write a song, boom, they play it. We kind of like
Experiment.
kind of put it on like the chopping block and like dissect it,
Yeah.
and then rebuild it with 6 different personalities, 6 different like influences, and that's how you get songs that are like, I don't know, to a different caliber, you know, like something that I could never have written by myself. That vision, it had to have been on that chopping block, dissected, and then rebuilt with everyone else involved.
Yeah,
we haven't done that with these new songs yet because
Yeah.
we haven't had the time.
Yeah, the songs that we're playing live, the new ones, are just you know, 2 days of working on them. You know, where it's like we've had this idea forever. John and Josiah come up with these ideas all the time, but you know, as a band, we've only had maybe 2 days to work on each one of these songs. So the idea that I guess after the fall tour that we do, having 2 months of just constant daily interaction with each other on these new songs and on all these ideas that they've stockpiled. You know, that'll be kind of when everything comes together, and then in the studio we've never really had time to work on, you know, a record in a studio like we want
The
to.
first,
you know?
the first album, it wasn't like we were like, oh, I wish we could, you know, layer on a bunch of stuff. We didn't even like have that vision. But
couldn't
we
create an
but what
ambiance
happened?
or an
But what happened on the first album was pretty much just like whatever we did live. We just like said, okay, you go in and play your part, and then that's done, and that's it. And that was like all of the songs were. It was just like how we played them in our practice space, you know.
It was done super cheap and super kind of
super
like
quickly.
super quickly.
So yeah. So I think I don't know. We're kind of excited to like, you know, break the songs down and build it back up again with like more to experiment with.
Are you working on any music videos? Because I remember you had said maybe Rivers and Roads.
Well, we
Yeah,
did.
actually,
we
so we-
shot Rivers and Roads.
Yeah, we
please
shot it.
talk about that.
So we shot it out in the middle of the desert. There's like coyotes and sunsets and gigantic boulders and a gigantic bonfire in the middle of nowhere and a man wandering through the mystery. Okay, sorry, but we have but it's in the editing room and we have but it's in the editing room right now and we have no idea what it will look like when it comes out. And there's still they had like a first one. It's coming. It's
So anyways,
been
yeah,
shot.
we
A lot
shot
of
it
videos
around
been shot.
Coachella time, and it was in Joshua Tree.
There's a
We
lot
had
of-
rented this house and just had a bunch of our friends out, and you know, it felt good. It was like one of those experiences where everything kind of comes together. You don't really find that very often, but when it does happen, on the road especially, it's kind of like magic. You don't take it for granted. You just realize that was a great weekend. Like, I'm glad we cut it on film and see what happens.
So now they're trying to make a video.
With all the festivals you guys play, you know, everything seems to be such a big production. Is there anything you guys have to do to kind of prepare to play at a big festival differently, or?
We just ship our gear, we fly, and that's about it. Like, we're so low on the production scale, I feel like. We finally have a front of house guy, a monitor guy, and a tour manager, but the idea of like taking your own boards out or taking, you know,
Like a whole like setup in the back.
yeah, like having a backdrop. We don't even have a backdrop. We don't have a light show. We just go out and kind of play it.
Yeah, I'm really self-contained. I just bring my guitar and my like cables, like on the which is my shaker, which is a very important part of the show.
Don't forget it.
And just bring those on the plane and then just show up and go. So we're still pretty low maintenance.
Still
as
low
far as the
maintenance.
band goes.
Have you ever had any flukes on stage? Something funny that happened? Somebody mess up?
Dude, oh my god, this is my favorite
Dude.
story
Are you
ever.
talking about Manchester?
Yes, this is my
Alright,
favorite
good.
story. We were opening for Death Cab in England, in Manchester.
On 4th of July, actually.
It was 4th of July, and this was like 5 days into the tour with them, and we met them a little bit before and kind of gotten to be friends with them. But we started this set in Manchester, and it literally is the first song. It's the first song. And Chris has this monitor set up kind of angled towards him, our bass player. And it can be
It
in
was
an
a
awkward
small
position.
stage, yeah.
Small stage. Josiah's like rocking the tambourine, he's jamming
Doing
out.
that little jumping around.
Yeah, and he goes to take a step back, and he hits the monitor and just crumbles to the ground in front of like 3,000 people.
He
And
like fell like 4 times.
he fell.
No,
It was a
it wasn't
slow
4
motion
times. It was
fall.
just like
It
I
was just
fell and I like
Tumbling.
couldn't right myself, but I just slowly slid
down the monitor. Oh my
before I got it.
I've never seen anything funnier because I'm like right there. I have the best vantage point of this situation, and I'm just cracking up. I can't even finish it. And then that's
I broke
one.
a string today and I had to change it mid-song.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not like a funny thing, but
You're your own guitar tech. That's
Yeah.
pretty pro, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice situation. Yeah, but the falling was the best thing I've ever seen.
Well, thanks so much for taking some time out. We really appreciate it, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you guys.